Are you quietly watching your confidence fade while you keep reaching for a temporary blue pill just to get through the night? Here's the part most men don't realize until it scares them. Erectile dysfunction is rarely just a bedroom problem. It can be your earliest warning sign that the blood vessels in your entire body are struggling. And every time you ignore that signal, you're not just risking performance, you're risking the health of the system that keeps your heart, brain, and life running. Now, let me ask you something uncomfortable but important. What if the real path back to strong erections isn't locked in a lab or hidden in a prescription, but sitting in your grocery store waiting for you to take the first sip? I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a board-certified urologist focused on men's health. I see this every day. Good men, successful men, men who love their partners, quietly carrying the fear of, what if I fail again? Today, we're moving past quick fixes and into a science-backed, natural tool that supports the real foundation of erectile function, healthy blood flow. If you appreciate clear medical breakdowns like this, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. And as we go, if this is helpful, drop a 1 in the comments. If it's not for you, drop a 0. I value honesty more than hype. Most people think ED is just age or stress, but your biology tells a more fascinating story about one tiny molecule that acts like a master key for your blood vessels. It's called nitric oxide. And once you understand that key, this one daily red drink will make perfect sense. Let's pop the hood on your body for a moment, because when you understand what's happening behind an erection, you'll panic less, blame yourself less, and most importantly, you'll know what you can actually control. Here's the truth. An erection isn't willpower, it's not a measure of masculinity, and it's definitely not something you can force by trying harder. An erection is a blood flow event, directed by your nervous system, hormones, and the health of your blood vessels. When desire begins in the brain, the signal travels down the nervous system like a calm but firm command. Clear the road. Nerves release messages to the penis, and the body's proper response is for blood vessels to widen so blood can rush in, fast, full, and stay long enough. So if you've ever felt desire, still emotionally engaged, still wanting intimacy, but your body won't cooperate, the problem may not be you, it may be the pathway your blood needs to travel. At the center of this story is a tiny molecule with enormous power, nitric oxide, or NO. Imagine your arteries like a hand gripping tightly. NO is the signal that tells that hand to relax. When NO is strong and available at the right time, blood vessels open, blood flows smoothly, pressure rises where it needs to, and erections become easier, more natural, and more sustainable. No straining, no fighting your body. It simply works the way it's supposed to. And then comes the question many men stay silent about for years before finally admitting it. If no is that important, why does erectile dysfunction quietly show up over time? The answer is usually 2 words: gradual decline. No doesn't completely disappear, but its availability, what medicine calls bioavailability, tends to decrease as we age. Especially after 40, many men either produce no less efficiently or no gets broken down faster due to oxidative stress. And the key point is, this decline rarely happens alone. It often comes alongside low activity, chronic stress, poor sleep, heavy alcohol use, smoking, increased belly fat, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, and metabolic issues. In plain terms, you don't get weaker because you're inadequate. You get weaker because your vascular system is tired. That's why. I hear the same sentence over and over, like men are telling one shared story. Doctor, I still have desire, I still love my wife, esteem, but my body doesn't respond. They assume it's psychological. They try to focus harder. They try to stop overthinking. But the more they try, the more tense they become. And the more tense they become, the harder it is for the body to open the road for blood flow. And here's the emotional trap that makes everything worse, much worse. One failure can create fear. Fear triggers adrenaline. And what does adrenaline do? It tightens blood vessels. Tight vessels mean less blood flow. Less blood flow means another failure. And then the brain starts learning a new script. Intimacy equals pressure. Pressure equals the risk of failure. Risk of failure equals stress. And stress, ironically, is the very thing that kills the sexual function you're trying to save. Does that loop feel familiar? You step into intimacy not with excitement, but with a question hanging over you. Will it work this time? You start checking your body minute by minute. You try to guarantee everything goes right. But your body doesn't operate under inspection. Erections are a reflex of safety, of clear signals and free-flowing blood. When intimacy becomes a test, your body reacts as if it's under threat. And when you're under threat, your body doesn't prioritize erections. It prioritizes survival, but this is the turning point, the moment many men finally feel hope again. Because if erections are about blood flow, and no is the key to blood flow, then you are not powerless. You can support the no pathway every day with simple steps, measurable steps, grounded in real physiology, not magic, not a miracle cure, just giving your body the raw materials and conditions to do what it already knows how to do. And that's where the red glass comes into the story. Two foods that come up again and again in natural, vascular support are beets and pomegranate, not because they sound trendy, but because they target the two biggest problems with no, making it and protecting it. Beets are rich in natural nitrates. Your body can convert nitrate to nitrite, then into nitric oxide through an alternative pathway. This pathway becomes even more important as we age, when the traditional no production mechanism becomes less efficient. Put simply, beets give you more building blocks to create the vessel relaxing signal that opens the road for blood flow. Pomegranate works differently. It's rich in polyphenols and powerful antioxidants, and that matters because no is easily destroyed by oxidative stress. Think of no as a message. Oxidative stress is static that distorts the message. Pomegranate reduces the static, helping the signal last longer, stay cleaner, and work better. One helps generate more signal, the other helps prevent the signal from being killed off too quickly. And this isn't just theory on paper. A clinical study that looked at pomegranate juice in men with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction reported positive signals for improved erectile function scores compared with placebo in a crossover design. That doesn't mean drinking pomegranate will automatically make you back to 20. No, but it's an important sign. Nutrition that supports vascular health can make a difference, especially when your ED is tied to circulation and endothelial function. And here, I want to take the question one level deeper, because this is the moment that determines whether someone keeps watching or clicks away. If erections are about blood vessels, and blood vessels are about the whole body, then ED isn't necessarily your body betraying you. It may be your body trying to tell you something you've been ignoring for too long. So what happens if this time you truly listen? Not with fear, but with understanding. This is the protocol I often give many patients as a starting point, especially those who tell me, "Doctor, I want something natural, but I don't want it vague. I want something that makes logical sense." First is the dosage. 8 ounces, which is about 240 millimoles once a day. This is not something you drink as an emergency fix right before a date. And it's not something you drink like you're punishing yourself. The goal is a small but consistent habit so your body gets vascular support over time. Second is the timing. Timing matters more than most people think. There are 2 windows that work best: in the morning on an empty stomach or about 30 minutes before a workout. Why? Because exercise already activates circulation and endothelial signaling. When you combine that with support from nitrates and antioxidants, it's like delivering materials at the exact moment the factory is running at full power. Your body can use it more easily, and the results often feel more noticeable. But then I have to be blunt about the biggest mistake I see in a lot of people, especially in the US. They buy bottled health juices, but what they're really buying is dessert pretending to be healthy. Turn the bottle around and read the ingredients. If there's added sugar or worse, high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, you're working against your goal. Added sugar worsens metabolic health, increases inflammation, and over time it damages endothelial function. And when your metabolic foundation declines, testosterone, energy, and erection quality have a hard time improving in a sustainable way. Erections don't thrive in a sugar-soaked environment. So the rule is choose something with no sugar and no added sweeteners. It can be pure, unsweetened beet juice. It can be pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. Or it can be a blend, but it must have absolutely no added sugar. And here's an interesting detail. If it tastes a little earthy, a little tart, or a bit bitter, sometimes that's actually a sign you're drinking the real thing, not something engineered to hook you on sweetness. And please hear me clearly on this part, because this is about protecting you. If you're taking blood pressure medication, nitrate meds for angina, blood thinners, or if you have a history of kidney stones, talk with your doctor before making beet juice a daily habit. Our goal is to improve your health, not create surprises. Everyone's baseline health is different, and what's great for one person may need adjustments for another. Now, at this point, I want you to stay with me a little longer, because the strongest part actually isn't in the glass. The strongest part is the moment that happens inside a man when he realizes, I can influence this, I'm not stuck. And if you've ever lived with that sense of helplessness, if you've ever avoided intimacy because you were afraid of failing, if you've ever wondered whether you were losing yourself, then that realization alone is the first step to breaking the negative loop. Would you like me to continue with the emotional peak right after this? To carry viewers into the ending and tease the next video? Regaining your performance isn't about finding a miracle cure. It's about restoring the conditions your body needs to do what it was designed to do. Blood flow is not magic, it's biology. And biology responds to what you do daily. This one red drink is a strong start because it supports the same foundation that erections depend on: healthier vessel signaling, healthier circulation, healthier endothelial function. But it's still just one piece of the puzzle. Sleep, strength training, stress control, waistline, and your relationship with food all stack together, quietly, powerfully, into either decline or recovery. So here's my challenge. Don't drink it with desperation. Drink it with ownership. Let it be a daily vote for the man you're trying to become again. I'm Dr. Emily Carter. Drink for your health, train for your life, and I'll see you in the next video where I reveal the 3 healthy foods that are silently crushing testosterone in modern men. As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Today, your preparation starts with one simple sip.